Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me for this segment, we have Liz Berthelette, Head of National Life Science Research at Newmark, to discuss the leading hubs for life sciences within the commercial real estate space. Liz, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You got it. How are developers adapting properties in the modern day new mixed use concept to cater to the evolving needs of life sciences while accommodating a diverse range of tenants?
Yeah, so first and foremost, we're seeing a lot of adaptive reuse from developers that are repositioning, functionally obsolete office and flex space for lab users. On the design front, we're also starting to see a greater emphasis on campus and community. So we're seeing public space, retail amenities, office, mixed use, resi, all sort of incorporated into the project design. But at the end of the day, the science always comes first. So there's changes that are happening in the industry in terms of technology, AI, less reliance on chemicals, which, makes it, there's changes to the needs for these lab users that developers are having to adapt to as well.
What specific factors have contributed to the rise of Boston and New York as leading hubs for life sciences within the commercial real estate landscape?
Yeah, Boston, I would argue, is likely the number one life science cluster in the world, certainly in the US. And it's really a unique mix of top-rated institutions and medical facilities and research facilities, inherently innovative economy, top funding, talent pool, intellectual capital. All of that is sort of coalescing to create this really vibrant ecosystem for growth in life sciences.
How has the integration of life sciences evolved the commercial real estate market?
So there's a couple of different aspects of this, and we're starting to see, more collaboration and openness within the scientific community, and that is lending itself to those mixed use type of projects that I talked about earlier. We're also starting to see new hubs within life science markets like Boston, Bay Area, San Diego, cropping up outside of sort of the traditional nodes that they've been in. And then I think it's worth noting that we're starting to see life science nodes outside of those major 3 or 4 markets really start to grow and emerge and pop up within the US.
Are there any challenges or limitations in accommodating life sciences within the commercial real estate space? And if so, how are these being addressed?
Yeah, life science development is fairly unique in that users have a bare minimum building specifications that they need to operate. So it's minimum floor loads, ceiling heights, mechanicals, chemical storage. All of those things are necessary to operate as a R&D lab. And then is there enough supply to meet those needs? There's also ESG considerations, particularly in East and West Coast markets. How are we going to get lab buildings to 100% electric when we have backup power considerations as well? And then, there's public perception about biosafety and chemical storage and usage. So those are things that have cropped up in the last couple of years that we've really been paying attention to. And finally, talent pool, not only for the biotech companies themselves, but operators, property managers, accountants, construction workers, all of those specialized background in life science is really needed to build the product that these lab users need. So there's all of these things that developers are trying to address right now in the major nodes. And I think the experienced ones have been doing it for a while and understand and, are continuing to try to work on some of the issues that they're facing.
That's a great point that you bring up as it relates to ESG, because clearly you need generators for these types of properties because of the biochemicals, and that requires natural gas. But let's take a step back here for a moment. When we talk about life sciences, what type of product are they producing? Is this where we get our pills and antibiotics and so forth from? Is this what life sciences create?
That's part of it. So big pharma is, they're the ones they're creating pharmaceuticals. So it is those drugs and antibiotics that you talked about, but there's also gene editing. There's mRNA, which is, everyone has heard of that because of the COVID vaccine. So there's biologics, there's chemistry, there's pharmaceuticals, and there's new sciences being discovered, at a very rapid pace in the current environment. So developers really have to adapt to changing, science and technology as well.
All right, Liz, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thank you.